Hey guys, welcome to Architecture React. In this video, it's going to be a little bit similar to Architecture Real Talk, but I'm going to be looking at content that my subscribers or my viewers have sent me to react to. In this particular case, I'm reacting to the Neom Saudi Arabia project, The Line. So let's go ahead and get started.
For too long, humanity has existed within dysfunctional and polluted cities that ignore nature. Now, a revolution in civilization is taking place. Imagine a traditional city and consolidating its footprint, designing to protect and enhance nature. The Line will be home to 9 million residents.
9 million residents? That's like 3 times the population of Houston. I understand what they're trying to do with the urban sprawl.
And will be built with a footprint of just 34 square kilometers. And we are designing it to provide a healthier, more sustainable quality of life. The Line's communities are organized in 3 dimensions. Residents have access to all their daily needs within 5-minute walk neighborhoods. And the Line's infrastructure makes it possible to travel end to end in 20 minutes with no need for cars.
So no need for cars. That's another big statement right there.
Resulting in 0 carbon emissions. By leveraging AI technology, services are autonomous, saving you time and effort. Designed by...
They're floating trees. They're floating trees in this building.
world-leading architects. The Line is 500 meters tall, 200 meters wide, 170 kilometers long.
170 kilometers long? That's insane length.
And housed within an elegant mirror glass facade.
This will affect birds' population. Like you will have birds just flying straight into this mirror glass facade. That's crazy.
Intelligent solutions create efficiency and year-round temperate microclimate with natural ventilation. Energy and water supplies are 100% renewable. The Line is designed as a series of unique communities, offering a wealth of amenities, providing equitable views and immediate access to the surrounding nature. With 40% of the world accessible within 6 hours, at the heart of the globe's key trade routes, a place for commerce and communities to thrive like nothing on Earth seen before. The Line, the city that delivers new wonders for the world.
Okay, that's literally, wow. First of all, that's a very ambitious project. I know it sounds like a utopian dream, like something that has just come to fruition or realization, but I already see so many problems with it. Like, as far as constructability, something that is that long and that tall, you have various different settling issues, right? Then I'm thinking about maintenance. Like, what if that 20-minute travel of a light rail goes down? Another thing that came to my mind was like, at that point, you have to start taking into account curvature of the earth. It's such a long foundation. I am thinking about, like, there's so many maintenance issues that are coming to mind, and I've not even like started like contemplating what will be like the societal norm. So, I mean, as far as maintenance is concerned, like what happens if a part of the building catches on fire? Like, how is the structure dealing with that? Like, where are all the amenities tapping into? I know they talked about renewable energy, but a city continuously grows, right? Do people even own properties, right? I'm thinking, like, where does a dead get buried, right? So there's so many facets of a city where you have a sense of identity, you have a sense of ownership, right? But then when you look at it in terms of societal, like, we also are a product of our environment. How our psychology is based on the earth we walk on. So imagine if you were born in this building and you never left the second floor. you always touch concrete. It's not you never touch grass. It reminds me of this building, this movie. You guys can comment below on what movie it might be, but this person or this community trapped inside of a building, and they were made to believe that outside is just pure apocalypse, but it was just all the windows were monitors. So they were made to believe like outside is pretty much inhabitable. And inside they were growing their own food. Eventually they broke out. So I believe you will create like a microculture within this building. And then you have to have hierarchy. Something that I've been thinking about is like, for example, any city that has an overly rich population, or you want to say a very well-off society, they need an equally service society to benefit them. For example, you walk into a Walmart, you walk into any store, right? That store worker cannot be living in a $500,000 home if your entire subdivision median is 500,000. Does that make sense? You're in an upscale or you're in a very, very high, luxurious area is equally supported by those people that commute and actually provide service. Now, they talked about AI. I don't know. They were floating trees. I was just baffled by the fact that there were pods where the trees were floating. But there's so many things that that lack of hierarchy between the rich and the poor, I don't know how that dynamic would work, the serve versus the service, right? I also believe like you're foregoing a lot of that independence factor, what makes us human, right? Some of these people might never see sunlight. I just was thinking about that. And then are the people at roof is kind of be like those people will experience the garden, and having everything in a 5-foot walkable area is nice, but let's suppose you are traveling between cities. Let's say you're traveling from the Line project to Jeddah, or you're traveling from there to Mecca, right? These are all cities inside Saudi Arabia. And how would you deal with that commute knowing that you can't have cars inside that building? And I also saw this hub where everything was flying into at the end. Is that the airport? Because if they get in there, do they have to take this 20-minute rail? I have so many questions. I understand traveling 174 miles or 174 kilometers in 20 minutes is feasible. But what are the wait times? If that breaks, that the entire city comes to a standstill, right? What is the dynamic of work relationship? Are people even working? It sounds very utopian, but it just feels like a society where there is no benefactors, right? And at the same time, the government can really intervene and just lock out, like they can create a microcosm of these people just thinking that it's all right to eat hamsters, for example, right? I have no idea. Like, it feels like a ground for brainwashing. It almost feels cult-like to live inside this this project. And this is considered more like a hyper object. It's almost like the era of Lynn Beck, the Zeitgeist movement that took about that buildings are nothing than mere objects, right? Something that is dropped on site. But at this scale, it's so massive. I don't feel any benefit from a project like this. This hasn't taken into it doesn't take into the dynamic form of what a city can be, right? That is organic. The city breeds. It literally grows and shrinks based on the people around them. It also, the areas tend to shift in terms of what people want to migrate to. And of course, there's developers moving in. There's so much dynamic to a city that they're trying to capture into this one object of a line. And I really don't see this as a feasibility. I know it was sent in as an optimism to like, hey, this is a nice architectural concept. But let me know in the comments below what's your thoughts on the line, and especially the psychological aspect of inhabiting a city like this. So until next time. Follow for more content.